Bond market, July 2021. We're witnessing significant developments in the bond market, and in this regard, we would like to present to you. One is the global bond market, what's happening, global sukuk market, what's happening, GCC bond market, GCC sovereign CDs market, GCC syndication loans. Now, if you look at international bond market, the bond issuance exceed 5.67 trillion in 2020 and exceeded 3.44 trillion in 2021. The last month, worries about the spread of coronavirus 19 variant drove US government bond yields to their lowest level in the months. The latest drag on investment expectations for economic growth and influence on 19 July, the yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note posted the biggest one-day decline since March 2020 to 1.18. It rose as high as 1.77% in March 2021. Look at the conditions. The market initially perceived Fed as being a bit hawkish, as policymakers in June 2021 projected an accelerated timetable for rate hikes and open discussions on ending crisis-era bond purchases amid backdrop of rising inflation. The yield curve also flattened since then, with the gap between 2 and 10-year notes shrinking to smallest level since February 2021. In July 2021, the Federal Reserve decided to hold rates steady and said the US economy is recovering despite lingering COVID-19 concern. So when it comes to global sukuk market, issuance exceeded 67 billion last year, 2020, and exceeded 47 billion in 2021. The major sukuk this year includes Malaysia Wakala Sukuk, 1.3 billion, Persuhan SBSN Indonesia, 2.25 billion, Assign Warlik, 2.5 billion, ISDB Trust Services, 2.5 billion, Dua Capital, 1 billion, UK Sovereign Sukuk, 686 million dollars, Federal Land Development Authority, 487 million, Dana Infra National, 544 million, Lembaga Perumahan, $945 million. So it's all moving in the right direction. So Islamic Sukuk, even though compared to last year is less, summing up around 47 billion, you have seen Indonesia has come, Malaysia has come, the UK has issued. So major trend in the Gulf bond market, if you look at it, GCC Sukuk market exceeded 35 billion in 2020 and about 21 billion in 2021. Major Sukuk issuance in 2021 include Saudi Arabia Global Sukuk 6 billion, Al Ali United, Kuwait Sukuk 0.6 billion, Sharjah Sukuk 0.75 billion, Dukhan Tier 1 Sukuk 0.5 billion, MR Sukuk 0.5 billion, KFH Tier 1 Sukuk 0.75 billion, DIB Dubai Islamic Bank 1 billion, Oman Sovereign Sukuk 1.75 billion, Riyadh Bank 0.93 billion, NCB 1.25 billion, FAB Sukuk 0.5 billion, Saudi Real Estate Refinance 1.067 billion. The Gulf bond issuance exceeded 90 billion in 2020 and is close to 62 billion in 2021. The major bond issuance in 2021 includes Qatar Petroleum 12.5 billion. Qatar Petroleum bond issue saw participation from over 500 investors and demand peaking about 40 billion US dollars. Ooredoo 1 billion, Doha Bank 500 million, Bank Muscat 500 million, Al Bank Qatar 500 million. Al Bank additional tier 1 bond 300 million. CBQ additional tier 1 500 million. NBK additional tier 1 700 million. Various bond issuance by QNB includes sovereign bond issuance, namely Saudi government. It also includes, if you look at the big picture, there are other sovereign, Saudi 5 billion, Oman 3.25 billion, Bahrain 2 billion, Sharjah 1.25 billion. So the Gulf bond, if you look at this year, 2021, 62 billion. So major trend, GCC banks and sovereign banks, sovereign countries I should say, continue to tap the bond market at a brisk pace in 2021 as they try to take advantage of the low interest rates amid prospects of economic recovery. The impact of COVID-19 on earnings have spurred banks to raise capital through bonds to strengthen their balance sheets. There have been some additional tier 1 bond issuance from GCC banks. These are perpetual bonds that could be called after a specified period by the issuing bank. Banks have been issuing additional tier 1 bonds since the global financial crisis to raise capital and comply with the Basel III capital requirements. Even the banks have the option of continuing interest payments indefinitely. They generally exercise the call option at a first available callable date to show their financial strength. They have the call option to show. When it comes to CDS rate, credit default swap rate, the Gulf bond market, the 5-year CDS rate of Qatar was at 42.784 basis point, Saudi 56.799 points, Dubai CDS 89 basis points, Abu Dhabi 41.73 basis points, and Bahrain is 247 basis points. When it comes to corporate syndication, GCC syndication is important. The Gulf syndication market loans have surged to a close of 69 billion in 2021. It is commendable, and last year it was only 62 billion. That is because of the impact of COVID. This year it has surged to 69 billion. So things are moving in the bond market. Bond market are bigger opportunity in the current context to have trading income as well as fixed income in real order if you want to keep it as hold to maturity. The choice is ours.